From a distance, this old shirt of mine, this is one of my favorites. It looks like any other long-sleeve casual shirt. From several feet away, the narrow stitch plaid looks dark gray. It's got a minor, undefined pattern in it that doesn't look like much. The pattern is also laid with single and white threads forming squares that create a second and a third and a fourth and a whole series of squares, like one of those online games where you ask to count the number of squares or triangles in a pattern and a drawing. As you step closer, the pattern reveals itself. Parallel stripes of navy blue and green are laid with single and white threads forming squares that create a second and third and fourth series of squares, like one of those online games where you're asked to count the number of squares or triangles in a drawing. The more you look, the more squares reveal themselves. But today, on Thanksgiving, this old shirt has another notable feature. The collar is threadbare, worn away by the unknown number of times that it's been worn, rubbing against the beard stubble on my neck and chin. The only thing that holds the collar together is the facing. That's the stiffener within the collar. The collar is worn so badly that I don't wear it in fear that someone would see it and think, "Poor Gary. It's a shame he wears those old worn-out shirts. Maybe he can't afford new ones. Maybe he doesn't care about his look. Maybe his family doesn't care. Is he getting a little touched in the head and doesn't notice the shirt is worn out?" If they would ask those questions of me, I have an answer. An answer of a life well lived. A life that is symbolized by a ratty old shirt. It's gray from a distance and get closer and the colors begin to show themselves. The patterns that blend into other patterns and shapes until understanding the complexity of design makes you step away, ready to explore again in a slightly different way, looking for more patterns and shapes. The worn collar, it reflects the times I shook my head no and nodded my head yes. The number of times I turned my head for a better perspective on a photo subject. It marks a life of emotion and action, a life of a photographer experiencing as much as possible, a life of Thanksgiving. Today, it's a day of Thanksgiving, and when I put on that ratty old shirt, I celebrate it and the worn collar and all the life it shows.